Bears get a massive boost ahead of their game against the Philadelphia Eagles as Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon will be back. Along with that, too, Eagles suffered 2 more significant injuries. I'm going to go through it all, but before I get into today's show, hit that like button if you're happy that Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon will be back. And along with that, too, help welcome them back by putting a welcome back in the comment section below. And if you like this video, comment below and subscribe. You enter to win an autographed Tyreek Stevenson photo when it'll be announced on Monday. And I just want to say quickly, thankful for every single one of you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope your families have a great day. Let's get into the news. And also, we're only 35 away from our next goal of 40,200 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date in all Chicago Bears news. Let's get into it. Bears get 2 key starters back in Jaylon Johnson and Kyler Gordon. Both confirmed by Ian Rapoport early Thanksgiving morning. Help is on the way. The Bears are activating Pro Bowl cornerback Jaylon Johnson and starting defensive back Kyler Gordon from the IR in advance of Friday's game versus the Eagles, sources say. Gordon has been dealing with a groin and calf injuries, and Jaylon Johnson had surgery to repair a core muscle. This is absolutely massive for the Bears. Missing all of our linebackers along with very significant injuries I'm going to talk about in a minute for the Eagles. The Bears defense gets a much-needed boost in the secondary. That means Jaylon Johnson, Kyler Gordon, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Tyreek Stevenson. I want him to sit because he's hurt. But this room is packed with guys. And, of course, Nashawn Wright. This room is rocking. Guys, dynamite room, massive against the Eagles, and the Bears sitting at 8-3 needed a boost like this, especially trying to go to 9-3 after the Black Friday game, and it's looking good for the Bears right now. Big boost for this team, and I'm happy about it. And speaking of injury news, the Eagles suffer even more injury news that impacts this Bears team. That makes this activation even sweeter. I wish all these guys a quick recovery, but a big advantage for the Chicago Bears. Let's go through it because the Eagles injury news goes from bad to worse, unfortunately for them. And their offensive line is taking the brunt of it to start. 2 key starters likely out, 1 for sure out, but another one likely out against the Chicago Bears. And starting with Lane Johnson, captain, Pro Bowler, one of the best tackles in the NFL over the last couple of years. He looks like he won't be activated against the Bears, even though he's on the injury report. He's dealing with an injury right now, a foot injury at the moment, listed as did not practice, and the Eagles are going to miss him, and that's a big advantage for this Bears defensive line. 449 snaps so far this year for the Eagles. He's been out for a minute. 0 sacks, 0 hits, 3 penalties, 7 hurries. This guy has been dynamite, and it's huge for the Bears offensive or defensive line, especially for a guy named Montez Sweat, who is getting red hot right now for the Chicago team at the right time. 21 total tackles, 14 solo with 3 pass deflections, 8 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. And no, that's not his season stats. That's in the last 6 games for the Bears. And if he continues to heat up like this Eagles offensive line is in for a day because that's going to help out Austin Booker and the rest of the room. But the rest of the room could get even more of a break because Landon Dickerson is not looking good for this upcoming Friday against the Bears as well. The 3-time Pro Bowler offensive guard for the Eagles, absolute beast of a guy on the field. He's limited with that knee injury, and even if he does play, which he has played injured, it's going to be a struggle for him, and his numbers are showing for it. The 3-time Pro Bowler has played in 550 snaps this year for the Eagles with 5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 3 penalties, and 22 hurries so far. He unfortunately just hasn't had it this year, and that knee injury is becoming a factor. And this is a big advantage that Javon Dexter Sr., Andrew Billings, and Grady Jarrett can take advantage of because they can get up the middle and get more pressure on Jalen Hurts. Hurts is also having a ton of injuries amongst his weapons at the moment, which is a big factor for the Chicago Bears. So there's a ton going on here. And the Bears defensive line on the outside and on the inside should be bull rushing, getting aggressive, and getting into the backfield and stopping this Philadelphia offense from getting any sort of advantage. And it truly shows the importance of building the trenches. That's why I'm so grateful with the Bears trenches right now. You know, Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, and then it sounds like Ozzie Trapillo is going at left tackle for the Bears this upcoming Sunday. Big stuff overall here right now. But listen, Hurts is also hurting for targets. No pun intended. Dad joke right there. Anyway, it's a thin room for him at the moment, and he's been an aggressive rusher for this Philadelphia Eagles team. That being said, he has tried to sling the rock, and it looks like he could be losing one of his best guys this upcoming week, as Eagles star wide receiver Devontae Smith, who's dealing with a shoulder, chest, and illness at the moment, did not practice and is looking doubtful for this upcoming Friday against the Chicago Bears, which would be a huge break for this Bears secondary, especially with getting Kyler Gordon and Jaylon Johnson back. Man, they were going to be good to go now, but man, they're looking a lot better now. Devontae Smith, 55 receptions off 78 targets for the Eagles this year, 13.7 yards per catch with 3 receiving touchdowns and 32 first downs. Big for this secondary. Not only did we get the 2 major guys back for this Bears team, they also, on top of it, are going to be missing a star wide receiver. So Hurts has one less person to throw to. He's missing some key components on his offensive line, and he's going to be under a lot of pressure from this Bears team as they are hungry to go to 9-3 and advance over them in the NFC standings. Crazy how the Bears could be in first place after this game with a few other factors outside of it, but big for this Bears defensive secondary. Now, another big factor is Saquon Barkley, back-to-back practices limited with that groin injury. He's tough as nails. He had a 2,000-yard rushing year last year for the Eagles, and obviously that was part of their major success last season. That being said, if Barkley struggles, they do have a guy in the backfield, but honestly, it's Jalen Hurts that's really leading the way. He's the second leading rusher for this team, and then Tank Bigsby is third, which we'll get into in just a second. But Barkley has struggled all year compared to what he did last year. Still 684 yards is very impressive, especially for this Eagles team, but only averaging 3.7 yards per carry, 4 rushing touchdowns, and 27 first downs on 185 attempts. Bears are going to have a lot going on here in this running back room, but if he's affected, that's an even more advantage because we're going to get more pressure into the backfield because of the offensive line, and Barkley's already banged up as is. So back-to-back limited practices for the veteran running back, 2-time Pro Bowler. Could be a big one here for Chicago, but that means Tank Bigsby, Eagles' second-string running back, will get a chance. And this is where Kyler Gordon comes into a big factor for this one and a big boost because he is so good against the run. And Tank Bigsby, he's dangerous when he gets the ball. 9.1 yards per carry with over 164 yards and only 18 attempts this year, 7 first downs. Having Kyler Gordon back is big because we need a spy on him. We need a spy on Jalen Hurts as well. So the Bears also can use Nashawn Wright, big defensive back. And also, we can see what C.J. Gardner-Johnson does, who is a former Philadelphia Eagle and knows the weaknesses of this team and how to go against this Eagles offense. So things are just going bigger, good, better, best for this Bears team. Perfect chance to use that opportunity to say that. And along with that, too, going into the secondary of the Eagles, big advantage for the Bears offense as they have the opportunity to go out and make some big plays here. A thin room for this Philadelphia Eagles team at the moment as Reed Blankenship is injured at the moment, and he is questionable as he's been limited all week for the Philadelphia Eagles. 50 total tackles for him this year, 32 of them solo, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. According to Vic Fangio, miss him every day, and I bet you guys do too. Shout out to Vic. Can't wait to see him in the box, even though it's going against the Bears. He's likely to play according to the defensive coordinator. He's a big factor for the secondary, but a guy that's unlikely to play or will actually not be playing, Andrew Mukuba, rookie safety from Texas, who's been electric and dynamite for this Eagles defensive back room so far. Bears get a big break here. 46 total tackles, 27 of them solo, 2 interceptions with 3 pass deflections, 2 tackles for loss, and half a sack. He is dangerous on the outside, and the Bears get a big break with him not there. And this is what I'm saying, like the Eagles, let it fly, Caleb. Chuck that ball down the field. You have much less of a defensive secondary. You do have Vic Fangio still, but Ben Johnson's prepared for it. But at the end of the day, you're missing your key guys for Vic Fangio, and we'll see the next man up mentality over in Philly. Still a big challenge for the Bears, but a big break. And a likely roster move coming, checking over on the good old X real quick while we're recording to see if this has happened or not. But this is what I'm seeing because the Bears linebacker room is so thin at the moment, is that the Chicago Bears could be calling up one of the players off the practice squad, and that is veteran Jalen Reeves Maybin. This makes a lot of sense considering Ruben Hippolyte did not practice all week after sustaining that injury last week against the Steelers. Bears brought him into the practice squad as a special teamer and linebacker, and he's got the experience to go out and get there and get it done. The 6'1", 226-pound linebacker is 30 years old from Tennessee, was the 124th pick overall in 2017 by the Lions. Cross pass with Ben Johnson during his time there. In his last season being a full-time linebacker, he had 82 tackles, 53 solo, 2 pass deflections, 4 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. Yeah, try to say that 3 times fast. But we need linebacker help, and he can bring that. So good to see that the Bears signed him, as he's likely to come up, as we did sign Carl Jones to the active roster last week, and he's still on it at the moment. So guys, With that, thank you as always for tuning in to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. If you haven't already, and if you please could like, comment, and subscribe. But with that, thank you as always to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I want to hear it loud and proud. Bear down, baby.